It is day 27 in the Chad Daybell trial. It was another packed courtroom today as the defense called more witnesses to sway the jury. Linda Larson is covering the trial for us in Boise. Linda, what did we learn today?
The defense continuing its case today in the triple murder trial of Chad Daybell. So far, we have heard from 8 witnesses that have been called by the defense. Let's pick up where we left off yesterday with Chad's son-in-law. We started out the morning with Joseph Murray. He is married to Emma. He talked about the detectives and how they would drive by Chad's house at the time that they were trying to find the children. He said that the family felt like they were being harassed.
So you would disagree that a detective who discovers bodies on a property, arrests somebody from the property, might have a surveillance or investigative interest in continuing to drive by the property to identify if someone else was coming back to the property after the bodies had removed. You don't disagree with that, do you?
I don't see the reason for it.
You're not a law enforcement officer, are you?
Absolutely not. I would rather choose any other profession.
Next on the stand was the first expert witness that we've heard from. It was Dr. Kathy Raven. She was a forensic pathologist from California testifying for the defense. She testified that she reviewed the autopsy reports and thought that Tammy's death should have been ruled undetermined.
Now, is it standard practice when there's no signs and there's no indication of what could have caused the death to take a jump to asphyxia? Is that what would be the common practice?
In my opinion, no. The way I practice and the way I've always taught people to practice in the institutions I've been associated with, again, we would call them undetermined.
We also talked to Tom Evans. He was one of the jurors in the Lori Vallow trial, and he's been in court every day for Chad's trial. He had some very interesting things to say about how he thought the defense was doing.
I think the defense so far has been a disaster. Mr. Pryor just got done calling Tammy's death a murder.
What about the testimony of the kids yesterday? How did that come across to you?
I felt bad for them. I mean, obviously their mother was murdered, their father's on trial for her murder, so how can you not feel sorry for them? But I think they came off as not being very credible. They seemed to me to be extremely influenced by their father. I noticed Garth especially looking over at Chad, trying to get his attention a few times, and Chad just didn't seem to want to make eye contact with him.
If you were a juror on this case, would any of that testimony have swayed you so far?
It would have swayed me in the way the defense would not want me to have been swayed. I mean, if anything, I think it's convincing the jurors that the prosecution must be more right than the defense.
Court broke a little bit early today because several of the witnesses that are going to be called by the defense are not in town yet. We expect to hear from them tomorrow when court resumes at 8:30. From the Ada County Courthouse, I'm Linda Larson for Local News 8.